So we have a pretty crazy chapter here, and things aren't really looking too good for Bakugou. So in the previous chapter, we saw Bakugou taking on All For One / Shigaraki, whatever's going on with that right now. And Bakugou revealed his support item upgrade, which was the suppressive heavy armor mobile unit Strafe Panzer. And at the end of the chapter, he was able to use his new ultimate against Shigaraki / All For One, the Howitzer Impact Cluster, which is like the upgrade to the Howitzer Impact. And we're finding out what happened as a result of that in this chapter. The chapter begins with students from the business course inside the UA structure filming while the support course runs around rebuilding the lost parts of the battlefield. One of them wonders if this is really the right time to make a documentary, but they say that in the past war, this was used against them. Dabi manipulated public opinion through filming and speeches, so now is the time for them to counterattack. After all, the role of the business course is to produce the best heroes. Okay, didn't expect this coming, but I guess Horikoshi is really trying to make full use of the cow here, because the business course is something that he introduced as an aspect of UA, but never really did anything with them. And I mean, that could be said for a lot of aspects of UA, and I guess just this series in general. Hey, also guys, if you like my Hero content, please subscribe if you haven't already. It's fine if you don't want to, but if you just needed a reminder, here you go. Thanks. So I guess, you know, it's nice that he's using them, and this documentary for sure is going to come into play eventually, you know, in the last couple chapters maybe. But as for what was going on with Dabi, that was more so him like kind of telling the truth about Endeavor's abusive past. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. Guys, you already know what Raid is, but in case you don't, Raid is the first game to bring a true console level experience to your phone, with hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 600 champions blessed with unique skills. You can build your team, develop your champions, and raid your way. Guys, I don't always have free time to play games, believe it or not, so that's one of the reasons I really like Raid, because I could just pull it out and go through a fun level anytime I want, and it's not that difficult, and it's really accessible and so entertaining. And there's a ton happening in Raid this month. They're bringing out 5 awesome looking new champions that I can't wait to get my hands on. They're overhauling the champion vault, and they've got a load of awesome smaller updates as well. On top of that, Raid's running a huge series of summer splash events for the whole month, where you can get your hands on some incredible skins for everyone's favorite dwarf, Trunda.
But wait! There's more!
Raid's currently running a special Deliana chase event, where you get your hands on the amazing Deliana, a brand new legendary champion from the High Elves faction, just by logging in. All you have to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and July 28th, and you'll get Deliana for free. That's it. Deliana is one of the strongest support champions in the entire game, and can help carry your team get past many of Raid's tougher challenges. You don't want to miss her. But the gifts keep coming. All new players, listen up. Once you're in the game, just enter promo code MyDeliana to get your hands on everything. Simple. Get 50 XP brews to instantly get your legendary hero Deliana to max level 50, as well as a ton of silver. But this promo code with bonuses are only available for new players. Guys, this is the best time to get started in Raid. And if you click the link in my description or scan my QR code here on the screen, you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Aina, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. We then see a double-page spread showing the scale of the Howitzer Impact Cluster. It has even extended outside the barrier. Aizawa makes sure that Monoma's eyes are still open, and Yu wonders if he hasn't gone too far, because he risks destroying the arena. That's when Kaminari steps in, saying that Bakugou is a pretty careful guy. Even though he doesn't look like it, he's certainly thinking of what's best for everyone. So this is pretty funny. This reminds me of like when Dragon Ball fans try to justify the area of effect damage that like the characters in that series will do after they launch like a huge massive ki blast that can allegedly destroy a galaxy or a universe or whatever, but it only winds up making like a crater somewhere or something, and they say it's because of ki control. So this is like Bakugo's ki control here. This is why everyone hasn't been destroyed by the howitzer impact cluster, and also, you know, Monoma's retinas haven't been fried from this as well. And also, if you're wondering who the character Yu being mentioned here is, she's only shown up like once or twice in the series. She's from class 3A. We originally saw her in the school festival arc, but we saw her most recently in chapter 346. She's in that group of electrical quirk students with Kaminari that are helping like powering UA to keep it elevated. So that's why Kaminari is there talking to her. But anyway, referring to Bakugou, however, he is not in the best of situations. His mask is torn, his right eye is injured, and his arm is broken. Shigaraki/All-For-One notes that he concentrated the explosion so as not to affect the surroundings so much, and that this was great, but he is not at all interested in the boy's growth. So this is kind of like an understatement here. When it says like his right eye is injured and his arm is broken, it's much more severe than that. It's not just like his right eye, it's like the right half of his face is like maimed, and his arm is like completely mangled, like equal to or greater than the damage that Izuku sustained from using 100% of One For All. Like the only way that he can really come back from these injuries completely is through Eri's quirk. Other than that, he's pretty much going to be maimed or be severely disfigured. So like, yeah, things aren't really looking good for Bakugou here. And I don't want to say this is a death flag, because plenty of characters in this series, especially in the latter portion of it, have been maimed and they go on to live. And I certainly hope Bakugou doesn't die, because he's pretty much my favorite character next to All Might, and I think he deserves so much more in this series than to just die at the end of it. I mean, if it's done correctly and it has like that significant impact on the series and takes like a huge emotional toll on the reader in a way that it's not just done for shock value, then fine, you know, Bakugou can die. But it's a slippery slope at this point with a character of this magnitude. But already maiming him to this degree is kind of egregious, and I really wonder how the fandom is going to react to this. Genis and Mirko try to come to his rescue, and Mirko even makes a quick maneuver by jumping between the hands, but to no avail. AFO Garaki says that they were naive in thinking that finding his body and approaching him would bring victory, and makes a move with his hand that generates a huge shockwave. The heroes are thrown away, and Shigaraki starts walking towards Bakugou. He says that although he's not interested in him as a person, the fact that he's very close to Izuku Midoriya could be useful. The right side of his face is completely burned. So this is in reference to AFO Garaki here. Like his right eye area is burned from, I'm assuming, what Bakugou did with the howitzer impact cluster. Aizawa asks if Mandalay hasn't received any news from Deku yet, but she says no. The electric waves are acting strange, even outside the barrier. It's been a while since she's heard anything but noises, so no update on Izuku. Guess the last time we saw him was like at the end of chapter 357, when he was still flying on his way to UA, but then suddenly he was encountered by a group of something, still have no idea what it is. Aizawa is desperate, asking Genis, Edgeshot, and Mirko to protect his student because he needs to graduate and keep aiming for the #1 spot. The scene cuts to Nejiri and Tamaki, who have been thrown into a classroom. Tamaki says that he wishes he had graduated and that they should ask Nezu to organize one for them after the war is over. Nejiri agrees, and Tamaki begins to wonder about their chances of victory, but before he can continue, a voice says, "Let's at least protect everyone while Midoriya isn't here. With the power of the three of us, we'll make it. Mirio is here. The big three is reunited." End of chapter. Yep, that's right. Mirio is back at the end of this chapter, and I'm sure you're wondering, like, where has he been? I'm assuming he's just been away just to have this triumphant return. because that's kind of just what he's been doing. I mean, he did it in the last war, and Horikoshi has used him as a device again to create a moment like this. I mean, I'm sure there will be some explanation in the next chapter as to what he's been doing, and hopefully it makes sense. But all that really matters is that he's back now. I don't know how much of a difference he's going to make here, because he's kind of limited going against a villain the caliber of AFO Garaki. But I suppose he's going to do as he says, which is, protect everyone while Midoriya isn't here. This is essentially what this is all boiling down to. Everyone buying time so Goku can show up to save the day. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. What do you think about Bakugou getting maimed here? Do you think that this is going to have actual significant changes on him and the story in general? Do you think he's going to survive? What do you think about Mirio showing up so late? Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.